Hey, End Time Saints! Today is February 11th. That's 2/11/2024. And the amount of attacks that are going on right now are relentless, is all I'm going to say. And I'm praying that this goes out. If y'all know Brother Ken Price, he was drugged. Everything was stolen from him, including his laptop, his cell phone. He was locked out of all his accounts. They're deleting his messages. I'm witnessing this. As he messages on his channel, Kingdom Living, they're deleting them. They're deleting my comments as well on his channel and deleting us from talking on my channel. They've been doing this to both of us for quite a while. Who are they? The satanic cabal that's about to fall. The Freemason Nazis, the Satanists, the witches, and the fallen angels that are actually possessing a lot of these people. If you're one of the 144, you are being hit right now, left and right. So if y'all know, over the last month, I've had not one but two phones stolen. One while I was out and was having to move, and the other one was stolen out of the place I am now at about a week and a half ago. So I just got another phone, just a cheap phone, something, because I wanted to contact Brother Ken, and they have already disabled the phone. This is not a joke. Within 10 minutes of me getting the phone to work, it worked, y'all. I set everything up. It worked. I dialed one number, which went through. Everything's fine. And within 10 minutes, there is a military commander, not just regular military. This is a high-level commander that has positioned himself in the apartment above this room I'm in. I'm in a one-room little place. It does have a kitchenette, though, so I'm grateful I can cook. But he's in a place directly above me. Drives a brand new, you guessed it, SUV. But you mean to tell me that he's going to be living in a dump? Right. He just hit me with directed energy weapons, or someone up there did, in wherever he's staying, so hard that my head went back. I felt like I was seeing stars and got real dizzy, and I'm under severe attack. Getting back to the phone worked. I dialed one call just to make sure that it went through. Everything's fine, and within 10 minutes, it won't come on. It says no service available. I've checked. There's nothing wrong with the phone service here, y'all. There's no storms or anything. No services just available. And then I got a message back to back that says, let me see what it says. Hold on, so I can tell y'all exactly what it says. I may come on if Father tells me. Oh, wow. Now it's in emergency mode with a red screen on it. I can't even look at my message now, y'all. A brand new phone. Brand new. This is how bad they target some of us. It said something like, they deleted. Oh, here it is. So within 10 minutes of me getting the phone to work, I hear stomping above my head, which is where the military commander is, which, if y'all don't know, our military are part of this gang stalking, okay? Yes, that's right. I've been warning y'all for years. They're the ones that stole my little boat that I lived aboard after they made me homeless. So long story short, it says, free message. Your voicemail pin was changed. If you did not request this change, please call customer service or customer care. Guess what? It won't even let me call the number that you call for customer care. It won't let me do anything. And now it's on emergency calls mode with a red screen. This is how desperate they are. Then I go in to make a video, and my sound has been disabled again. So I took like 30 minutes to figure that out. I've spent the last hour and a half trying to figure the phone out. I finally just threw it on the bed and said, y'all want the phone? You can have it. I don't care about it anyway. I've already been a week and a half without a phone. The only reason I got this junk phone anyway was to call Brother Ken. Father is saying, give it to me. Vengeance is mine. I will repay. They are trying to silence us. 144, I'm telling you the truth. They are tampering with, attacking everything. They have shadow banned this channel for years. It's up to y'all, end time saints. The 10%, the remnant on this channel, I know who's who, okay? To get these videos out. This is important. So now that I got what they're doing to me out of the way, I know because some of y'all are having this, don't let them frustrate you. I spent an hour and a half. It started to get me upset. Brother Ken said that he was getting upset last night, or this morning actually, because they were sabotaging everything he was doing. And every time he would make a message saying, yes, it's me, they would delete it. He finally got through to my email, all praise to Father, and was able to get a short message through. If y'all don't know, Sis Jeannie Hardesty just passed away a month ago. I may make a video in memory of her. It's just finally set in from all the attacks. I hadn't even had time to mourn her yet, y'all. It hasn't really set in yet that she's no longer on this earth, but I know she went home to heaven, okay? She was a bit older, right? And so Father, I believe, was protecting her from what's going down. So let's see. So this is the important thing. So today is the Super Bowl, Supper Bowl, okay? We all know that I'm not even going to go into all the stuff that's already been done about this. I'm just going to share with y'all what Father has specifically shared with me that I have not heard other channels talking about. I don't watch a lot of channels, but I'll read, like when one pops up in my feed, that's one of my my subscriptions. I will read the title of it, and then Father will tell me yes or no, whether to listen to it or not. I haven't seen anything else talking about this, okay? So I made a video about the plane crash, which was significant in Florida. Back to back, there was 2 over the last week with biblical names of 2 people that died, and the one in Clearwater, Florida. I used to live in Clearwater, Florida. When I first was on this journey. Now I'm going to tell y'all the bus story, okay? And then I'm going to get into... Actually, no. I'll tell y'all the bus story, and then I will come back because they keep deleting my videos if I make more than 10, 20 minutes. So I'm going to tell y'all the bus story, which ended me in Clearwater, Florida, where this plane crash went down. Then I'm going to come back on. So after this video uploads, please check back, and there's going to be another video specifically dealing what Father just showed me about the Super Bowl and about when Yeshua possibly will be taking us out of here. But if it's not that, because no one knows the day or the hour, it is some sort of a high watch that's coming next month, y'all. And I got major confirmation on this. So the bus story, some of y'all said, yes, you want to hear it. I try not to do a lot of stories anymore. Like I used to tell a lot of things that had happened to me, being highly persecuted, targeted. Okay. But I've tried to stop doing that and stop making this all about me, okay? But I feel that some of these things help y'all to keep standing for truth and know that if I got through it, y'all can get through it. When we have been called by the Most High God and then we heed the call, we become chosen. That's why they run with that fake chosen thing. Okay, those are fakes that are doing that. We are persecuted end time saints on the front lines, standing for righteousness in the midst of a sea of lies. And the lies are being exposed. Also, one of the main handlers that come against the true, targeted, empowered individuals has been exposed by the Most High God. To me, when he tells me to expose them, I will. I don't like exposing people, but this particular wicked, evil, infiltrating Judas has just exposed her own self. And that's right. That's the hint. It is a female, not a male. Okay? That's the hint. They are about to face huge, horrendous judgments by the Most High God. I've prayed for this one's soul for a while, and Father said, no more. Time is up. She has been completely taken over now by the fallen, by the demons, by those that she sold her soul to, that she's saying are protecting her. It is wild, y'all. They're telling on each other and on themselves without even knowing it. It's actually humorous. I also want to tell y'all something else. In the midst of all these attacks, and by the way, they kept me without sleep again. I've had all praise to Father. I did get 4 hours of sleep, okay? But through all these attacks, I am feeling stronger, even with no sleep. No sleep for you. I'm feeling stronger and more empowered and more joyful. And they did get to me earlier, like Brother Ken said. When Brother Ken emailed me this morning saying, please, can you ask for help because he can't get into his channel right now? Kingdom Living. A lot of y'all know him. He is a true end time saint, okay? He was being hacked. And Father told me immediately after reading his email, vengeance is mine, I will repay. He's also been telling me, hold my peace. Well, I didn't do a very good job of that about an hour and a half ago, but I did not get angry, but I got loud, okay? And I was sick of the phones being hacked. I just got this new phone, just got it to work, and then they already got into it, and I could hear the stomping back and forth. Since then, it's become quiet once they hacked into everything. Hacked into the laptop when I was trying to make the video and disabled the sound, okay? So after about an hour and a half, I started getting frustrated, is more the word than angry, frustrated, and annoyed. If we don't repent of that and catch ourselves before anger takes hold, we'll become angry, which is what they want. Okay? So I caught myself. I went on saying, I rebuke y'all. The Most High God sees what you're doing. You Nazis, you better repent. You're not getting away with it. And I could feel me starting to get really, the anger rising up. And I said, no, I woke up joyful. Even though I only had 4 hours of sleep, who cares about this phone? So I literally threw it. I actually threw it on the floor is what I did. It didn't break either. But I didn't throw it angry. I just tossed it. Tossed is actually the word. And it spun across the floor. Didn't break, didn't crack. And I said, here, you think I care about this dumb phone? I've been a week and a half without it anyway. And by the way, I went months without phones before. But I wanted to talk to Brother Ken is why I got it. And I tossed it across, and then the stomping stopped after that. And I was like, Father, I give it to you. I don't want to be angry. This is not worth my energy. I'm here to be a light in the darkness. Who cares about the phone? If you want me and Brother Ken to connect, you will make a way, Father. Okay? And then it instantly, whatever was rising up in me, whatever kind of demons were being sent to me, left. Okay? So keep a hold of your heart, but keep monitoring your thoughts, okay? That's what I meant. Thank you, Father. Take every thought captive. Take a hold of every thought. And most of them are being sent from the enemy. And any kind of negative thought is not from Father, okay? So all I wanted to say, y'all, is I might be a little wound up. I did have some coffee today, and I've been trying not to drink coffee. I haven't had coffee in about a week, y'all. That is huge for me. But I was like, I need some coffee today, Father. So I'm only on 1 cup, though. But I felt like, I think that's partly added to the aggravation. So Father's also telling us to get rid of the caffeine. And I know that's hard. I know a lot of us have struggled with, different addictions because of all the pain we've gone through, as well as the mind control and all the demons that they try to send to get us to fall back into sin. But if you can give up any kind of hold that this earth has, if you're addicted to caffeine, get rid of it, okay? Anything that you've got to have, and Father said you haven't had to have this, you weren't craving it, you can have it, but just don't let it become to where you have to wake up. Where's my coffee, right? So the bus story is what I'm going to spend time telling y'all right now, and then please come back on in a little bit. And I am going to share with y'all about the Super Bowl. So because I'd already talked about the bus story is why I want to get that out. That even though it is talking about myself, it will help some of y'all. And it will also help those on this channel that will be saved. There is a remnant, y'all, that are working for the enemy's camp that don't want to. But they're too scared. They're too cowardly to get out because the enemy's camp, Lucifer, the lion loser, trying to get me to be a boozer. He does not work like the Most High God works. He uses fear and intimidation, okay? So he's got them in fear. Do y'all know that Freemason Nazis, because that's what they were, that's who they are. They came from the Templar Knights and the Nazis. They're all part of the same clan, man. And their aggression will not stand. Do y'all know that they make an oath that if they speak of the evil that they're doing, okay, that they'll have their tongues cut off, and there's all kinds of other disgusting stuff that they do to them or they threaten them with, and I'm sure they have done it to some. Do y'all think that would be the true God, the God of the world, the God of the universe, doing something like that and keeping people in fear? No, it's the God of the pit, okay? And by the way, last night, so starting this morning when the attacks ramped up on all of us, started the year of the dragon. This is it. This is the revealing of the Antichrist is about to come forth. Come back to the next video after this one, and I will talk about it, because if I make videos more than about 20 minutes, oh my gosh, I'm already at 16 minutes. They'll get fresher on. They've been deleting them. Okay, so the bus story is just a story that happened to me when I was on my walk, and Father was really teaching me to hear his voice and obey him. Okay, this is amazing. So I was in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I was living it was like a house that was split into apartments. When I moved in, there was a very nice girl that lived across in the apartment across from me. Within 3 days of me moving in, she moved everything out in the middle of the night. So they scared her out, or they paid her off, or both, okay? Because she, I guess, wasn't part of it. So she leaves. More than likely, they scared her off because she left in the middle of the night. And then a whole satanic hive of high-level Satanists and witches took over the entire building. There was 5 units. And funny enough, I was in number 5, which keep being shown 5, okay? And then there was, I guess they're called slave quarters in the back, which there was 4 more. Every one of them were all friends. They were all Satanists. They were so in your face that they were doing rituals at night in the courtyard, okay? With fire pits and all kinds of stuff. One story that they did that was very evil was I was walking down the street, and a little baby bird was in the street crying, and it had fallen out of a tall tree. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't want it to get run over. So I scooped it up. I went back. I got a piece of cardboard, and I scooped it onto the not the sidewalk, but the edge of the sidewalk under the tree, as close to the tree as I could get it. The tree was super tall. And because I didn't want to touch it, I wasn't sure if you put your sin on it, the parents would come back. Anyway, I monitored it. I would keep going back and forth, looking and making sure, is it still there? And it was still there, crying and crying for hours and hours. I didn't know what to do, so I got as close up to the tree as I could, but I couldn't reach it. So I went to the neighbors to ask them for a ladder, because one of them had a ladder because they would illegally go in my window, I'm sure. That was one of the things they did. But they had keys to the door and all that. We all know that. Who knows what they were doing with the ladder? But I asked, could I borrow the ladder? They laughed and they said, that bird's going to die anyway. You're wasting your time saving a bird. That's how hateful they are. They don't value life. They hate life, okay? They don't think like we do in time saints. So when you wonder, how are they living with themselves? They aren't the same kind of, they're creatures. Oh, we got the stompers in the roof right now. They're back. So anyway, yeah, that's what they did. But I ended up getting it up on top of the tree, and then I don't know what happened to it. It wasn't there the next day, and they laughed and they mocked me when I went to look, and I'm like, it's not there. The mom must have come got it. And they go, no, a crow probably killed it. There's crows around here that eat baby birds. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, they're the same pack of monsters that poisoned and killed my little dog Chewy. A lot of y'all remember that. All praise to the Most High. He protected my other dog, Beignet. She did not get poisoned. And I believe that's because Beignet was very picky, a very picky eater, and Chewy ate anything. I said, how did they get to him? Father said they pushed the poison, they wrapped it in food and shoved it under the door. There was a crack in the door, and Chewy ate it. And then they mocked me. They left pictures of dead dogs under my door and in my mailbox. These are the kind of monsters that we're talking about. But long story short, I still didn't move out after that because I was learning these things. I didn't actually think these are neighbors doing this, right? Till they started confessing what they were doing. Anyway, my mom was very sick and dying, and even though I was never close to her, I wanted to go and be with her because even though she hated my guts, I loved her, okay? So I left for Texas, and I was gone several days. I think I was gone like 3 or 4 days. And when I came back, they had broke into the apartment. And back then I still was able to, I got like side jobs and stuff. I never could get a regular job, but ended up being completely blacklisted right after this. But this was in 2012 going into 2013. They killed my dog Chewy on 1/2/3 of 2013. Witches do things like that. And the Illuminati, all them, they speak in code like that. But anyway, when I got back, they had broke into the apartment and they had broken every single piece of furniture I had. And back then I still had some furniture. It was a small apartment, but it was cute. And I would find unique, used furniture at like resale shops, garage sales, stuff like that. You can find all that in New Orleans because there's so many antiques. It's a very old city, okay? And they broke every single thing. They spray painted the light bulbs red. They spray painted the windows black. They spray painted the doors, floors, and walls with voodoo symbols. They put 4 green apples in a bowl with some more voodoo rituals around it. I had angels back then. I had some angel statues. Again, this is before they completely made me penniless and homeless, okay? And they broke all the heads off the angels, and they spray painted the heads red. I had a painting that really meant a lot to me of this gypsy, and there's a long story to that too. It was the only thing that was saved in a fire. I didn't have a fire in my place, but where it was. They slashed that and then spray painted like it made it look like blood coming out of her face. Left the knife in it. They slashed the sofa with a knife. And then they spray painted the rugs red and black with voodoo symbols and the comforter. Okay. And then they stole all my photo albums. Since then, my family, using quotations, have never let me have any more photos, of growing up and all that. And back in the day, we didn't have cell phones. So I had all these photographs. Why would you take someone's photographs? Well, they're doing rituals on them, but they're also taking anything that they know means a lot to us. Hence why the painting they slashed was the one painting that I cared about, and the breaking of the angel heads, okay? This was a wicked, demonic place. Right after that, I was still not knowing what to do because, like I said, I was learning and growing with the Most High God. I had just been awoken to the truth in 2012, and this took place in 2013, okay? And Father's words were, "Leave now, your life is in danger." I've never heard him say that before. He'll tell me to leave now like he just did last month. And I got out of the enemy's satanic hive. So they're really mad now because a whole gaggle of Freemasons were part of this satanic, whatever they were doing. They had entrapped me, right? But Father's words were, "Leave now, your life is in danger." And I said, I only have I think I had $150 is what I had. I said, where am I going to go? I don't know what to do. And of course, the cops had illegally falsified all kinds of crap. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's a bad word, but anyway, they illegally falsified a bunch of stuff, set me up for DUI, which I didn't do. Then they laughed, wouldn't give me a breathalyzer, said no one will believe you because you have a drinking problem. We're cops, even though I was not drinking at all. And then they laughed and they said they'd do it again, which they did years later. They're being exposed, by the way. All of these criminal, corrupt cops and enforcers of the law of this world are about to be taken down by the Most High God. Their reign is over. But getting back to this, so Father said, leave now, your life is in danger. Now for the bus story, you ready? So I didn't know where to go. So Father said, you're going to Florida. And I was like, yay, with a banjo on my knee, because I really wanted to go to Florida, but I didn't know where I was going. And he said, you're going to Florida. I'm like, how am I going to get there? Take the bus. So it was called Mega Bus. And I don't even think that runs in New Orleans anymore. But this was, this was back in 2013. And so he said, you're going to Florida. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. How do I get there? You're taking a bus. So I looked up the buses on Megabus, and with Megabus, you have to book and pay online, and then you just show up at whatever stop they're at. It's not like Greyhound, or it wasn't then. I don't know about now. I think now they will sit at the Greyhound station, but you can't buy it there. You have to show that you have your ticket. I didn't even have a phone, so they were tracking me. They track me no matter what. It doesn't matter if I have a phone or not. But it's worse with a phone, I'm telling y'all that. So you write down your confirmation number and, of course, your name, and then you show your ID and your confirmation number, and that's how you get on board. All aboard. So I'm ready. I have my 2 suitcases. Again, with 2 suitcases. They stole my clothes, too, y'all. A bunch of my clothes. What a bunch of worthless rats, right? So I get my suitcases. That's all I could carry. I had my dog Beignet, and I'm like, I'm praying to you, Lord, that she somehow is allowed to get on this bus. And this was Father, because they usually check for this stuff, okay? You can't bring a dog on board a bus. So there's only certain situations where you can get on a bus with a dog, right? So long story short, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just praying to you, Father. You've orchestrated all this, so you guide me to how I'm going to do it. So I got Beignet in a little carrier, and I went to the bus station, and as I'm leaving the house, which had the apartments split into it, right? One of the worst of the perpetrators, and what was his name? Will. His name was Will. By the way, Will, and your whole satanic crew, the Most High God sees everything you're doing. You're about to be falling under his righteous judgment in Yeshua's mighty name. Getting back to this. He comes out. There was nobody around. They never come out when I go out like that. They'll come out and watch me, but they won't open their door at the same time because they do things sneakily in the dark, right? But he was trying to provoke and find out where I was going. He comes out of his door and he goes, "You leaving?" Like that, to intimidate, because again, I was new and I still had some fear in me, right? And I said, yeah, I've got suitcases. Oh, where are you going? I'll help you. You need a ride? The only time they've ever asked to help me. And I said, no, I got it. And I carried both the suitcases down. I wouldn't let him touch the suitcases. A cab came for me, took me over to the bus station because I couldn't lug the 2 suitcases. I promise y'all, it started pouring down rain. I'm standing at the bus station, pouring down rain to where it got so deep within, 30 minutes, because it's New Orleans, which is under sea level, that it went up to past my ankles, okay? And so I'm soaking wet, and here comes the bus finally, okay? And I got there, it says get there 30 to 45 minutes early, and I got there like at least 30 minutes early. And there was like 10 people standing there. The bus drove past us, splashed water up, and kept going. And I'm like, what the heck? And so a couple people were calling. And, oh, that's right, I did have a phone. That's right. A couple people were calling, and then I called the megabus, and they said, oh, we can't get the bus to come back. We're like, the bus just left us standing here. And they said, oh, we can't get the bus to come back. The bus driver doesn't have a phone. Does that even make sense, y'all? They did all that to try to get me, okay? So I didn't know what to do, so I call another cab. The cab comes to pick me up. I believe this cab driver was an angel. He was an older black man, like a light, well, not light, maybe medium-skinned black man, so y'all can get a picture of what he looked like, with like a kind of heavy set, with like a happy smiley face, real cute cheeks, and he had one blue eye and one brown eye. I'm not even joking. And he goes, hello, and he pulled right up. Normally cabs won't come for me. If they do, it'll take like hours of me waiting, and I'm like, now I'm going to be stuck in a bad part of town in the pouring rain with my suitcases and my dog. And he showed up. He said, where are you going? And I told him, I don't know. And I told him what just happened. I said, I don't have a lot of money. I don't know where to go because New Orleans hotels are pretty expensive. And he said, I have a friend that owns a hotel. I'll take you there. And then you can figure out what you're doing and maybe get back online. I was like, oh, cool. So he took me to the hood, y'all. But the nicest people were there. So Father orchestrated it. Remember when Yeshua was born in a manger and they said no rooms in the inn, right, for Mary and Joseph? Same thing with me. When I walk in, there was a witch behind the desk. Yes, she was a witch, 100%. She even went down to the star necklace, okay? Was wearing a star necklace, but I could feel her vibe. And she goes, I'm sorry. The cab driver drove off, by the way. And then she said, I'm sorry, we don't have any rooms. And the place had no cars in it. It was not a busy day. I'm like, really? Now what am I going to do, right? As I'm coming back out, another man comes in, and he says, are you leaving? Did you just get dropped off by so-and-so? And I said, who? And he said, the cab driver. I said, yeah. He goes, that's my friend. Come on in. We'll help you. And they gave me a room, y'all. So it was amazing how Father works. So I was able to figure out again what I was going to do. Father said, rebook. This time they will not be able to mess with you. The last time they hacked into the internet, because they're all part of the system. Just like here, they had taken over the internet throughout the house, right? So I booked again and went the next, I think it was the next evening. Yeah, because they didn't have any more that night. So the next evening was the next bus out that I could get. So this time it's nighttime, and here's the bus story for y'all, the good part, y'all. This is how Father protects us. Whatever the enemy is doing to harm us, Father will use it for our good. So don't get upset. That's what they want, because why? It lowers our energy. It feeds their demons. They operate on a lower level, like Pocostomus eat the poop, the turds, because they're turds, you heard me? And they stink off the bottom of the fish tank. That's what these stalkers do. That's what all these that work for the Luciferian satanic system, that's what they do. They operate in lower level things. So when you feel yourself getting upset, ask Father to remove it from you, okay? So anyway, so the next night I go, and I go back over to the same spot. It's in the hood on a corner, a street corner in New Orleans, which, not a good neighborhood. But anyway, I knew Father was with me. I didn't have any fear about it. I knew this was his will. So I go back over there. They did refund my money, but it took like 7 days. So now I'm down to $100. I think I had $150, and then I was down to $100. Y'all, this is amazing. All right. And I had no way to make income. I would do side jobs like doing painting of houses or people's lawns, things like that. And I could still sell on eBay back then. Now they blacklisted me from any kind of income. They sabotage everything. But this was still, I was, just waking up. So long story short, too late. I go back. I'm waiting at night. And normally at the mega bus stations, because I'd been taking the bus for several years after the Buford T. Disjustices falsely set me up. Oh, and by the way, they put me in an animal cage in an abandoned apartment complex. Y'all think I'm kidding? I got multiple stories of what these monsters have done. And they're being exposed, and the Most High God has taken them out. They're going to be dropping like flies. And there's my signal right there. 3 honks. 3 honks means 3 thumbs up. Oh, snap. The Father, Son, and Holy Ghost are with us, y'all. So I'm standing there. It's nighttime, and there's nobody else there. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, are you kidding me? Did they cancel the bus? And sure enough, here comes the bus. This is a double-decker. It's called Mega Bus, if I didn't say that. They have 2. It's a double-deck bus, double-deck bus, double-deuce bus, okay? And so it's usually filled, and there was nobody on it. The doors open, and it was like a movie, y'all, because we're in a movie. We're True Woman and True Men in the Truman Show, and everybody else is a part of the satanic system. So we're the remnant, y'all, that stand for truth and righteousness. Consider yourself blessed. So the doors open, whoosh, and I look at the driver and I said, hey, how you doing? I'm the first one on. And he goes, yep. And then he goes, take a seat anywhere. And I go, okay. And I was praying, please don't see Beignet. And he didn't say anything. And I know he had to see her because you can see her head out of my the little carrier. But he didn't say anything because Father was with me. This is just amazing. And so I sit towards the back, and then I'm sitting there thinking we're going to be waiting like 45 minutes till other people get there. And then the door shuts, and he starts off. He didn't wait or anything. And I got up and I went to the front as he's at a red light, about to turn to get on the interstate. And I said, excuse me, I'm the only person on this bus. And he said, yep, I was sent here just for you. Y'all, this really happened to me. Father sent this bus just for me. And to make sure I wasn't harassed, I had the most peaceful, awesome bus ride I've ever had. Bus rides are usually a nightmare for me. They'll sit behind me and pull hair out of them or break hair off of me and stuff to try to do witchcraft. They surround me. They do all kinds of evil, make so much noise. It's just a nightmare, and it's so energy zapping with all these demons that will get on through these people harassing me. And this was the most nice bus driver, and I believe he was an angel. And it gets better than that. So I told you I started with $150 and the bus was $50, okay, to get to Florida. And Father didn't tell me where, so I picked the place that was the cheapest, which was Pensacola is where I had booked, which is only 3.5 hours from New Orleans. And it was like 40 something dollars, okay? And the next town would have been a little more, and I wasn't really sure about that town. And then further out, like, would be Tallahassee, would be another stop. And I didn't have, I would have had enough for that, but then not a hotel. But I was walking by faith, not by sight. This is crucial in this end time, y'all. You have to know his voice. You have to be obedient. You have to be seeking the Most High God with all your heart. You have to have discernment, okay? So please seek him with all your heart and ask him to give you discernment. So anyway, the bus driver and I are talking, so I get up closer, but I didn't want to get super close because of Beignet. And in the end, eventually, he kind of acknowledged that he knew she was in there and didn't care, okay? It's amazing, but I don't like doing that because it's very, very stressful. But long story short, it wasn't this time because I knew Father was with me. So he's like, so you're going to Pensacola? And I was like, yeah, he goes, where are you going? I said, I don't know. And then I told him the story, and he's like, would you like to go further? And I said, yeah, but I really don't want to pay that much more, because I was thinking, now I got 100 left. But y'all, it was minus 50, so I only had 50 left because it took 7 days for them to refund the 50 or the 48, whatever it was, 42, 48, something like that, from the night before where they sabotaged the bus, okay? So I was like, now, I can find a dumpy hotel for one night for 50, but if I use that, then I'll be outside, right? And he said, would you like to go further? Anyway, long story short, I was like, yeah, and he goes, no worries. You're the only person I was sent here for. I'm going all the way to Tampa without stopping. Y'all, if you've ridden a bus, this does not happen. There are so many stops between New Orleans and Tampa. I don't know how many there are, but I'm going to say there's got to be at least 6 to 10 stops. I know there's one in Tallahassee. I know there's one in Pensacola. I think there's one somewhere in Alabama, and then a bunch in Florida, y'all. And he wasn't going to stop. And he drove all the way there without picking one person up for me for free. For free. Guess where I end up, y'all? So when I get off the bus in Tampa, I don't know where I'm going. And I look online because Father told me not to do anything till I got to Florida and then to get online. And I look online and I found this cheap room in Clearwater, Florida. Clearwater is where I originally ended up. That is where Father started teaching me a lot of things. Right outside of Clearwater is where I was guided when I started this channel. And right after that is when Father gave me the little boat that I lived aboard. Okay? I couldn't afford an apartment after I left my gang-stalking, pitiful ex-boyfriend. Okay? back in 2015, and Father told me to get the boat. The boat came with the name Amazing Grace. You can't make this up. An old rinky-dink sailboat, y'all. I used to bail water out of that thing. Father really was speaking to me on that boat, showing me these things. That's when he gave me the name of us. Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property, like on Young Guns. What is his property? The souls, okay? The innocent souls. Regulators mount up. That's why I say that, all right? Was on that boat. But Clearwater is where the first plane went down a week and a half ago. That's also where I first saw the firmament, the dome over the earth. I saw it standing on the beach in Clearwater, Florida. Okay, y'all, so I've already made this 40 minutes. I'm praying that they don't sabotage this. This goes up. Please check back in a little bit. Oh, and there's the sirens. Thank you, Father. Thank that he keeps telling me when the sirens go off, that's a signal that what we're speaking we need to pay really close attention to, because he's really trying to warn in this end time. Please come back on. I'm going to warn y'all about what Father showed me of the Super Bowl. Some things that I don't think are on YouTube, okay?